Hey everybody, welcome back to Kingdoms Reborn. We left off the last episode on a cliffhanger as we entered the Age of Enlightenment, we started a war, and we started our first advanced building. So we have a ton of things to go over in this episode. We're going to start off with the Town Hall, moving that to the Age of Enlightenment. Then we're going to take a look at the war efforts and see how that went over. And last, we're going to look at the advanced brewery. So taking a look at our Town Hall, we can now upgrade it to level 4. We've got enough money, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. I do want to place the master brewer in there, and that will be pretty useful for the future. So I guess we throw the swordsman up there, take the master brewer out, and we throw the master brewer in there. It gives us our spy office. It also gives us specialty cards into the card shop, something we're going to look at, I guess, before we go over to the war efforts. And then it gives us the ability to set delivery targets. Now, as we get started here, I did a lot of pre-planning for this episode, building 8 more farms and building, I think it was 10 to 12 houses. I'm going to slowly throughout the episode let those start building. Card shop next. So we should have some new things in here. Resource outpost. This used to be driven off of influence. It looks like it's still 10,000 and 40,000, which is what it was before. But it looks like the upkeep has moved from influence to upkeep of money, which makes it so that it's harder to maintain. Speaking of that, it used to be that if you conquered a minor town, you'd get enough influence for about 2 of these. And if we look at this town, we can see that the tribute is only 267. So we wouldn't even be able to have 1 luxury outpost from this. And we can't even get a luxury outpost anymore from this, as it used to be that the tulips and cannabis were things that you could just throw one of these on. But now with the breeder, I don't think that we can have a breeder outside our territory. So this is a huge change that we might have to look at through this series, but I'm not sure how much we're going to play with that. Replenish mines. This is new. I've never depleted a mine, but it's something that I've been saying for about the 2 years that I've been playing that we need. Scrolling down a little, we have all you can eat, lockdown, slave labor, and then happy bread day. These are right out of the upgrade tree. I'm happy to see that they came out of the upgrade tree. I didn't feel that they really made sense in there. We have 2 new cards. We're going to come back to those. We have the research lab, and then motivation and passion, again, right out of the upgrade tree, and then blueberry and the pumpkins. I'm going to go ahead and activate the pumpkins so that we can build some of those in this episode, and we'll go ahead and activate those just to make sure that I don't forget about them. And that brings us to privatized military and standing army. Now, if we're the Emirates with a lot of trade companies, private military could be pretty good, because we might have 30 trade companies with them. That would give us 15 trade slots, or not trade slots, but military slots. That'd be pretty good. With this build, we'd probably go with standing army for 10. I'm not sure that we would go this route unless we were going extremely war heavy, but we may look at that, as it looks like having the little cities under our vassal control is pretty good. Now that that's done, we can finish looking at our vassal here. So we can see that it gives us a tribute. I think that that tribute might go up as it upgrades. And taking a look over here, we get 21 upgrade points from conquering it. Now we can connect it to the trade. We can also raise it if we wanted to build in this area. I think that having this for the upgrade points is probably more important until we conquer a few others, and then we'll go from there. So we'll see this area up here. I did plan out some houses in order to get some farms going. We might let these start building one by one, but for right now, I just want to let this area get building and get going. And then I moved the forester to over here because we want to switch out to making coal for getting brick production. But that brings us over to our advanced brewery. Now, without the beer card, it's about a 1-to-1 production from wheat to beer. But with the master brewer, it brings us to 1 to roughly 1.2 or something. So it's a little bit better. And then we got to take a look at the improved malting once we get some wood in stock, as our wood's a little bit out of control right now. So we might do a little bit of gathering to get a little bit of wood to get that going. But if we did 2 motivation books, we can see we're not quite at the rate of 1 to 2. But if we switch these out to sustainability, we're almost to the rate of 1 for 3. For right now, I'm going to go ahead and stick with the sustainability books. We'll go ahead and do the improved malting, and it does take us to that 1 to 3 ratio. It's actually 1 to 3.3, and this is going to be our baseline. So as long as we're at 1 to 3.33 or better, we're going to want to stay with it, which means we're going to stay with sustainability for a long time, I feel like, because motivation was about 1 to 2.2. We need a lot of stone to get to fast malting, and I believe, because we're going to get brickworks, I believe we're going to need some stone to make the brickworks happen. So the next next thing on our list will be to go to the quarry, but on the way back there, we're going to get brickworks, which means we need coal, which is why I moved this. Let's do a storage yard right here for coal and wood. For the forester, let's set a production target of 1,000, and then let's get our first coal yard. Now, I do want to take a look at this and see if there's an advanced version there, because I'm not sure if this is one of those things that's upgradable or not. We can see that our money went up because we finished the war, and we can see that we are 0 of 4. So this is something that we're going to want to do some work on and see how good the advanced version is. We already know there's an advanced bakery in the works. We need to get bricks to get them, because the bricks for one bakery is about 7,500. Let's grab these immigrants, keep us right around that 150 mark. We'll grab a sustainability now that we know that some of the advanced buildings might benefit from them quite a bit versus doing just double motivation. And I want to get the next of these farms are all going. All right, good. I want to get these built. Let's go ahead and quick build this one. We'll set that down to 3. We'll let the next one build naturally, but maybe we quick build the granary just to give it the extra 20%. So we'll let those kind of build. And that brings us to the brickyards. Now, the bricks are going to be important for everything because we want to get the fireplaces in the house, and then a lot of things are going to need bricks. And I do like building in the fertility overlay. So let's do road right here. Seeing people go down this way. So I guess we do a snaking road this way and then connect it to this road. I might do a road this way too in the future, but since I see people, I might as well do that. And then we'll do a clay pit right here and a storage yard right here. And this will be for our brickyard. Let's set this as a production of, let's say 250 with double motivation. That will be set for a while. And then the last one that we need to kind of bring that together will be a brickwork, and we'll throw it right on the edge there. We're probably going to go double sustainability for this, and it's almost 10,000 to right out buy it. So this is not something that we're going to be able to do anytime soon. And again, it takes a lot of stone. Let's take a look at our mine and see what it would take to get the extra workers. So 2,000, I think we do it. Because it's almost broke for money. That's okay. We're going to get away from as much buying as we're doing, and we're going to get into trying to sell stuff, as I'm a little concerned where we're going with money. All right, let's take a look at trade next, because we want to take bricks off there. Bricks, stone tool is this episode. We want to get those off there. So let's drop that. Let's drop bricks. Iron is the next thing on the list that we want to get rid of before we get rid of iron tools. Let's do over here. We'll get a road going this way, and I want to make sure there's room for an iron mine here. Now, I'll probably just shut off this iron mine for the time being, but as long as it fits here, I'm happy. And then on this side over here, let's go ahead and shut that off, not build it. Let's get a stone tool shop, and this will be just to make sure that we have stone tools for anything that may require them in the future. We'll build a storage yard in here, and just size of a warehouse, and this will be for iron and stone tools. Let's do 250 on the production there. We'll go, I was going to say we'd do 2 books of passion, but we only have 1. Let's grab a passion out of here, and let's go ahead and throw it in there. Not in there. Let's throw it into the stone tool shop. And what I want to do is I want to start transitioning away from all the pig ranches, because we now know that they're not efficient. So let's get rid of this farm, and we're going to move it. And then let's get rid of this pig ranch right here. I'm going to go ahead and sell it. That gives me some extra books, and I think we've got a productivity up there. So I might as well readjust it around. I guess we grab the spy center out, and we'll do something with that. And then maybe we'll grab the statistics bureau and build that shortly here too. This right here, it looks like the road is off. So I guess we throw a road right here for the future, and then we'll build our first farm in this group right here. This one needs to be medical herbs, and then we'll do pumpkins probably around here. Yeah, let's do one more pumpkin while we're at it. We'll get this little chunk of road here, and we'll get one more farm. I don't really want to quick build these, but I do want them to be a priority to get built. So I'm going to go ahead and say that they're a priority for both of them. That will get these built, and then we'll get them up and going. We'll adjust them to 4 in just a second here. Let's speed boost both of these since we have them prioritized. And it may, yeah, it went over the building limit, but that's perfectly fine. We're still late winter. If we get the cost down far enough and we hit early spring, I might go ahead and just hit the quick build. Let's pick up our yearly card, and I'm a little worried on our population population because it's going down. As long as our food is in good shape, it looks like last year was rough. As long as our food's in good shape, I'm not too worried, but it's if our food gets out of that good shape, then I'm going to be pretty worried here. We'll grab those immigrants. We'll go ahead and lower this down. We have a few laborers, and so if we have a few laborers, I want to make sure that we're getting this done. Let's get this set for only 3 workers. This is already set for 3. Let's get this one set for 3. This is just about done, and I guess we can get rid of the fertility overlay. So as soon as this finishes, which is in 1 second here, we might as well set this before we move on. There's that one. Let's get that set down. We're 10 down for workers, so we'll grab those immigrants. We'll grab this motivation book. I think that will be pretty good for the future, and then we'll place the spy center right here. Now, in the spy center, we see counterintelligence, which is this reveal spy nest. I think that's more PvP than anything. And before you ask, yes, I did want a road between. I want it for over here just in case. And before we go too far, let's grab that statistics bureau because I keep forgetting to place it, and we'll throw it right there just in case and to get it out of our hand. So we have counterintelligence that goes with reveal spies. We have plan steal, which is this card right here. We have kidnap, which is the opposite of what the immigration card is at the end of the year. So we could do that if we really wanted. I don't know what terrorism is. And then the spy nest support is we have the ability to put a spy into our neighbors. So if we went over to, oh boy, over here, who has cannons and he has musketeers. Wow, he's pretty far there. We could establish a spy nest here, and it's 30% spy bonus when using spy cards. I'm not sure what else we get from this, but if we spend 1,000 to place it in there, we could also ensure anonymity, which is if the spy nest is found, it won't reveal you. So we might as well do it so that they don't know that it's us. And it shows that we get plus money per round. So I'm not sure how that works, but maybe that works with if we were to do the other bonus on there. So let's go ahead and switch that over for the time being, and we'll see what we can get. Because if we could get some money from our neighbor, that would be pretty good. So we'll do spy nest support, and we'll see what that does. See if that gets us some money from buying. And it looks like we get 40 from a spy nest. So it must be spy nest support that gives us money. So let's go ahead and head back over here and take a look at what we got, since we now see 40. That's pretty good. So, I mean, it will eventually pay for itself. So we might do a few, and it looks like each one goes up. So it's going to just be continuously more expensive to do those. And since we get 30% spy bonus when using spy cards, we'd need probably 4 of them to make things like steal worthwhile. And then if we've got enough anonymity there, it might be where they can't detect us. I'm not sure. I don't really want to conquer or do trade with them. I don't think that it's an interesting part of the game, but I am happy to see that they are advancing and doing things like building charcoal burners and things like that. What I don't see a whole lot of is he's got very minimal amounts of farms. But he has gold. Look at that. I don't know where he's got gold, but he's got gold. Well, maybe it's just this area has gold, but he's got a kind of interesting way of building, very spread out. And I don't see how he's got enough food unless he's doing something with hunters and gatherers, but I'm not seeing a whole lot in there. He's got the tailor butted right up against it, and he's got some advanced buildings. He's got the winery there, and it looks like you can do advanced buildings for the winery. Oh, it's just a new layout. That looks slick. I'm liking the way that looks. All right, let's get back to our territory there. I guess we pick up our yearly cards, stop drooling over our neighbor, and hit the H key to head back home. So we've got some extra labors. I do think that we want to increase this to say 10, and we'll want to grab this year's immigrants as well. Let's take a look at these farms and make sure they're all set, and then it brings us to building the farms up here so that we can start moving forward. So we'll do this one, this granary, and then we'll do one house. We'll grab these immigrants. We'll grab, oh man, I want that sustainability card for the future since we know we're going to need them now. I'm not used to getting these, and I have a feeling that we're going to grow past them, but as long as we're not growing past them, I want to just kind of go ahead and pick them up. We'll keep it at a bare minimum. Let's not do a quick build. We'll do a quick build of the house, and maybe we should put something down here for the production of wood since we're going to be clearing out all this area. Maybe we put the next warehouse. I am seeing that we have a goal to build 4 and that we get advanced warehouses. That's going to be something I want to see. Let's do a warehouse here since we can see that we are now starting to produce bricks. Happy days. I'd like to see brick roads. So we've got stone roads in their 30% movement speed. I'd like to see either brick or cement roads in the future and see that movement speed even go even higher than that. Let's do this one's ready. Let's go ahead and knock it down to 3 workers. Let's let this one build and let's let the second house build. This brings us to the next thing that we want to really focus on for this episode, which is heading towards the industrial age. So if we take a look at our tech tree, our food is really low. We skimmed by last year. That's scary. So if we take a look at the industrial age, we need 50 level 6 houses. We're currently at level 4 houses, which means we need to hit 5 and 6 in order to get there. We've got a lot of work to do before then, so we're not going to rush it, but it means we need a luxury. And the next luxury on the list was going to be Taylor, but I don't think Taylor's the way because I don't think that the ranches are going to be good, and that would be our way of getting wool. So that brings us to mead, the candles, magic mushrooms, or wine. So let's pick up the mead maker. So eventually we can get to either wine or the medicine maker. We'll pick up the candle maker, and then we're going to pick up the magic mushrooms. Next, I would like to pick up the medicine maker just because I would like to produce our own, but it looks like it takes both bricks and steel. Part of why I was looking at getting the brick production up and going and getting the steel production, and we can see that it has an advanced version as we look at the card there. That is nice. So if we look here, mead has an advanced version, candles has an advanced version, windmill does not, bakery we already know it has one, the market does not, warehouse does, deep sea fishing doesn't, the foreign trade, that would make sense that it doesn't, gold doesn't, I was gonna say coal, blacksmith does not, Taylor does, that's good to know. So it looks like a lot of things have the ability to. Let's get the medicine maker. We'll probably try to get that advanced version before we really focus on it. Let's go ahead and close that out. Let's go ahead and pick up the winery, and then we'll close out all of our spam because we have plenty of wild cards, so we're not going to worry about picking up anything. But that gets us the ability to make magic mushrooms, and that will be our first tier 2 luxury, and that will start advancing us to having the next version of houses and possibly extra people. We're going to take a look at that. So magic, we'll throw that boil right there. I don't know if that is affected by the granary or not, so we'll take a look at that in a minute here. But first we'll grab our yearly cards. We went down a little bit on both. That's scary. I think our population is starting to shift from kids over, or from adults over to kids. That's worrisome. It is absolutely worrisome, and it looks like we're starting to produce our own stone tools. This is good. I wanted to produce our own stone tools because we want more deep sea fishers. Metal's in a little bit of a bad shape, and it looks like we got some from somewhere. Let's go ahead and pick up these immigrants. Gets us a little closer to our housing there. We'll pick up the passion book. I almost want that frugality book. That's something I'm going to hold out on for now, and let's make sure on the trade that we get rid of iron bars. I don't want to bring in any more iron bars. So that's something I want to be done with. If we could, we'll set a production low. We'll say 250 iron, and we'll let the mine build. That way we get a little bit of a stock of it, so that if we could get ready for the smelter. We don't have enough people because we can see that some things have shut down. So I'm a little worried about how we're doing for this year, but that brings us to over here. These are full, and we do have our first hauling service. I went ahead and built that between episodes. So they're just hauling away, and they're going to help with keeping some of this clear. Let's go ahead and pick up the extra worker here, and we'll switch this passion book over to a motivation. Brings us to 703 per round. That is insane. This is absolutely the way to go. Let's get a double motivation in that one. Let's get another deep sea fisher right here. And this is why we want to get to steel. We got to keep ahead of all of this that's going to be requiring iron. And we have our first level 5 house, so we're going to go find that in a minute. Let's get this house right here building, and we just had this guy upgrade, but that upgraded to a level 4, so I'm not too worried about it. Looks like it tried to upgrade and then maybe didn't, or it was a level 3 and just went to being a level 4. So we'll let this finish, and then we'll let these houses finish. That will be good for this area. Let's drop double motivation in there, and then we'll do the upgrades once it finishes. Taking a look, looks like everybody is still 5 of 5. If we take a look around here, 5 of 5. This one right here is our level 5 house, and sure enough, it is upgraded to 6 people. And since we have 33 houses, we're going to get an extra 33 people. So we're going to get a big population boom there once everything moves over to level 5. Let's take a look at the magic mushrooms and see how productive it is. I got a feeling the way this has been going that this is not very good. No, 21 wood to 10 magic mushrooms, not really a good base there. It used to be about equal. Let's do the intensive care since it's going to be always prioritized. We're just going to go ahead and prioritize that until it hits the production target. We'll do 500. Let's do the upgrade Mushroom Mastery, gives us an extra 15%. And then the treatment, we will be doing this since we're now getting the level 5 houses. And that will just give a total of, 30 extra percent once we get enough. So we'll do that. It would probably be beneficial to do double motivation. So we'll see if we can find another motivation card, maybe buy one, or just do motivation and productivity. Gets us up to 18. So that's almost 1-to-1, and it takes concrete to move to the enlightenment age. That's weird. I thought concrete was in the industrial age. Let's go ahead and head over here. So I thought concrete was like right here. Yeah, concrete factory. So we can't get concrete until we hit the industrial age, but yeah, concrete is unlocked now. That's pretty weird. I don't know why they did it that way. Museum would be good. Zoo would be good. These are going to be pretty deep into this era, so I'm not going to be focused on either of them. To get to the museum artifact cards, we would need to go theater, chocolatier, museum. In order to get zoo, we'd need to go pretty much both routes. This requires level 4 houses, so we're not going to get there anytime soon. This is going to be rough to get to these because these are going to have things we need for huge amounts of influence to get some of our food consumption and stuff down. I'm worried about this playthrough. I'm worried. Normally by now I'd be in solid place for money, for food, and everything. We have just been skimming by. Speaking about that, let's get the next set of farms going as we grab our yearly stuff. I think we're good on all of our houses and people at the moment. Let's grab these immigrants. Let's grab that motivation. And I guess I'm a little bit too far zoomed in. We'll get this one right here going for the next farm. So we'll just clear out that, and let's go ahead and get this one set up for pumpkins. I want these set up for pumpkins because I was noticing that the fertility only requires 50% for a 60% build. So it's plenty good for this area. And then we can look at a beer brewer, one of the advanced breweries in here, and we're out of medicine. Oh my God, that is scary. We might have sick people. Let's go ahead and get this one going right here. Let's switch one of these over to medicine makers for next year. Let's get this one up and going, and 3 houses should be enough for this until we build something else over here. I'm concerned. We're late summer. We only have 800 food. We are lacking on people. Let's go ahead and hit the immigration from this year. Bring in a couple of people. It still looks like we haven't brought anybody else in. Let's throw some upgrades in here. Let's get this set to 3 workers. Let's get the next one as we grab our yearly cards. Grab those immigrants. Let's get this one built, and we'll go ahead and quick build it. Let's set these down to 3 workers each, and we're having people come in from over here. Look at this. Our tools are way down, but I think that's because we just used a lot of the tools to upgrade the fisher. So maybe this is okay. I might be getting worried about nothing. It looks like we might have some iron over here ready for the next building, which is the smelter. Let's grab these immigrants, keep pushing that population up. We'll grab that motivation, probably for the smelter, I'd guess. And the stone tool shop is not running to get those up to the mark. We're hurting for people. We're absolutely hurting for people. Let's grab a few things out of the tech. I'm thinking policymaker, which will be really good, so we can try to get some policies to maybe increase things even a little bit further. And then over in the upgrades tree, we'll go ahead and grab musketeers and the military engineering. It unlocks musketeers, which are about 3 times that of the swordsmen from what I saw. And it unlocks the cannon, which is about 3 times that of the catapult. Now the machine gun, I did have a look at this, and it looks like a hybrid unit of a ranged unit and of a soldier, where this is a heavy hitter when it comes to HP, but low hitter when it comes to attack. This looks like it's a combination where it's medium HP and high attack versus the cannon is it's the old saying, glass cannon. It's all attack, no HP. This is all HP, no attack. This looks like the hybrid, and that kind of leads us into the industrial age, where we'll go over those as we get closer. I don't know that we're even gonna go for the machine gun. I just don't know that I see a purpose of that, but we might take a look at it. I guess we could unlock it just to see how it kind of plays out. We don't have enough tech for it, so I'm gonna wait. I'm liking the whole thing of letting tech build up and just buying it all at once. Wood is at the edge, and with wood being at the edge, I want to go ahead and put a point into wood. So we'll do the quarry because stone is much needed. We'll do forestry. We'll put 3 points into the forestry. I think that will be good. And let's go ahead and get the upgrade, the policy everything up and going. So let's close out all of that. Let's get motivation cards up there, the policy down there. I'll have to sell the pigs between episodes. Let's throw this boyo right there. Again, just keeping roads going back, and then we'll pull the cards back out of there so I don't forget about them. I'll forget about the pig ranches because I've been forgetting about the breweries. So we've got national pride, 5% city attractiveness, pretty huge. Then we've got production, 3%. That is 3% to everything. Cannot stress how important that is. It's why it's worth 20,000. It's absolutely worth its weight in gold there. And then we have negative 2% to trade fees. We want to get rid of trade altogether except for what we're selling. So I'm not too worried about this at the moment. So we're going to focus probably on national pride and the heritage. Let's go ahead and pick up 1 to national pride. We're going to let the money pile up, and then we're going to do some productivity, and it looks like it goes up quick. But we're going to want at least 6 points into national pride because that will give us 5% global happiness. And we want to push that global happiness over 100. And we want to do that relatively quickly. Food looks like it rebounded really nicely. We're over 10,000. So that will really push our people as we kind of move forward there. Let's grab our yearly cards, and then we'll look at building our next farm up here. And that will make this area nice and tight. We'll go ahead and reduce that down to 3, and we'll get this one as our last one. We did get a lot of cards back from doing that, which makes me pretty happy because we put all those passion cards in there, and now we're just getting them back to use them for whatever. This one, we're going to go ahead and set that to pumpkins. We'll grab these immigrants. Almost gets us to the spot we want to be. We'll grab this motivation. Let's grab 1 set of immigrants because we don't have enough laborers yet to have everything employed. And this farm, let's go ahead and quick build it, and then we'll go ahead and set this to only 3 workers. If we take a look at our job priorities, we can see the advanced brewery isn't fully employed, and that's a problem because we want to have the clay pit going, we want to have the quarry up and going, and we just don't have enough to get any of those things up and going. We'll do 1 more onto the immigrants. I don't want to push it too much further, but it hasn't quite filled the beer brewery yet. But as long as we have enough workers, I'm okay. I just want to continuously push and try to get all the houses upgraded. Maybe build another house right here. We'll go ahead and let this one build. I got a feeling that we're going to run into some issues with population over here. Let's do the improvement on the beer brewery if we have enough stone. We'll do the fast malting. Brings it as 1 to 4. That's huge. Absolutely huge. And since we got a little bit of stone, I think the last thing we want to do to kind of close up this episode is get our first stone road. And this one, I'm just going to go ahead and go right to those farms. It's going to be 212 stone, so it's going to take a little bit of time to get built. But I think this is a good spot to go ahead and call this episode. So thank you guys for joining. We'll see you in the next episode.